So, Connie, it's so good to see you. Love to hear some Blue River tales of your past and experience living in Blue River if you would like to share those with us.
Oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. But like I told Helen, she's not going to have enough tape because I can go on forever. But did you tell my whole name?
No, tell us your main name and
Okay,
your
Connie Powers Mortimer.
yes.
And
Who were your
I'm
parents?
90. I'm 90 years old now, and I'm in the Smith Woodland Hills home for old people, like 90-year-olds. And anyway, it's a very nice place to be. But I go back to Blue River a long, long ways. And one thing I would like to mention before I get started on the community building is that when we were little, we lived in a house on the very farthest east side of town. It was between the creamery and, well, where Frazier's live now, and several people have lived in it. But anyway, we were very poor, as many people were, and my dad worked when he could and blah, blah. But anyway, Christmas was coming. We did not have a tree. It was a concern of my parents. I don't know whether they didn't have enough pine trees up in the pine area to cut one. But anyway, my brother said, "Don't worry, Mom, because I'll find us a tree." And so she said, "Well, okay." So it comes a little closer, and pretty soon here comes my brother home dragging a tree. And she said, "Oh my gosh, where did you get it?" Oh, he said it wasn't far from here. Now, my brother he was a rascal, Hughie Powers.
Okay.
They called him Willie. They called him Hug. They called him all different kinds of names. But, yeah, all different kinds of names. But anyway, he was always busy. One time he had a snake in a box. So it was a cigar box, of course, they were always available. And he painted the snake white. But then he charged people a nickel to look at the white snake. Well, that was just one thing. There were jillions. And so anyway, back to the Christmas tree. He said I didn't have to go far, so well, the folks were glad and then we could decorate the tree with what menial things we had. And later in the year, my mother was shelling peas on the front porch. We have a little front porch in that house, and she happened to look to the north, and a man called she was looking what is now between, just to the west of Frazier's, where Frazier's live now. And she looked up at the tree, the big high tree, pine tree, and she said, "Oh my gosh, there's no top in that tree." Guess what? Our Christmas tree. And we were a little bit afraid of some repercussions, but Mr. What did I say his name was? I can't even remember. Reistead said he knew about it, but he was a nice man. He didn't chew anybody out. But anyway, we had our tree, and we always kind of laughed about that story.